All right, that's where our spiralized ham into our slow cooker. I'm also gonna be coming in with some pineapple, crushed pineapple, plus the juice for this amazing and delicious little slow cooker recipe. I love using the crushed pineapple. In addition to the crushed pineapple, I am also gonna come in with our little crushed pineapple like slices, I guess. And again, we're doing all of that juice because it is sweet, 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 and it is perfect for this delicious recipe. I just wanna make sure that we get some of the juice into our spiralized ham, but also our pineapple all over. I think that's looking pretty good. And of course, no ham is complete without butter. I actually am gonna be using this cinnamon honey country crock butter, and it's actually super soft. I let it out for a couple of minutes. We're just gonna go right on in, and we're gonna go in between the slices of our spiralized ham, if we can get in there, and start kind of going right in between, just like so. And I kind of am using a lot of force, but we're going right in between the slits with that cinnamon honey butter, just like so. I love using the cinnamon honey butter. I think it is a perfect complement for this delicious ham. Obviously my hands are washed, but you could also use gloves for this part. You could also do a stick of butter and just do little pads of butter, but I don't mind getting a little messy for this delicious crockpot recipe. So we'll make sure that we get everything nice and inserted into our spirals before we move on to our next step. All right. I have my butter in there, and then I'm gonna come in with these fun pineapple slices. And similarly to the butter, what I like to do is I like to spread that spiral open, and we like to pop our pineapple right into the spiral, just like so. So we're gonna continue to do that. And I like using the rings for this part just because they add so much great texture and kind of let those layers really breathe. But you can see all of our butter in there, and it is perfect to add those sweet, succulent little pineapple rings right inside of our delicious little ham. So we'll go ahead and do that for both sides. Our spiralized ham is stuffed to the brim with our country butter, our pineapple. In addition, I'm also gonna come in with just some brown sugar because I think no ham is complete without some brown sugar. It's gonna add a nice little caramelized bit to our exterior ham portion, and also really gonna caramelize those yummy pineapple. I might just actually go ahead and use this entire thing. You could also do a dark brown sugar, but I just decided the light brown, I had a little bit left over from another recipe. We're gonna go ahead and grab our lid, and once we have our lid on, get that nice and on, and we are ready. We're gonna wait 4 hours for this puppy to cook. All right, 1 can of our fruit cocktail with the juice into our large little container here. I'm coming in next with our pistachio instant pudding for this absolutely amazing and fun little dessert. I'm using 2 boxes of our pistachio pudding. In addition to our pistachio and our fruit cocktail, I'm gonna come in with some pecan halves. I absolutely love making this, especially when it's super hot out. It's quick, it's easy, and it's always super, super delicious. So maybe going with about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of those pecan halves. In addition to our pecans, I'm gonna also be coming in with some flaked sweetened coconut. I love using the sweetened coconut. It just adds a great texture and another element of sweetness for this delicious and yummy little treat. And of course, we cannot have any kind of dessert without some mini marshmallows. I'm gonna go in with maybe about 2 cups of that mini marshmallow right into our little container here, maybe at 3 cups. I'm a big fan of mini marshmallows, so don't be shy with those mini marshmallows. And then to really add to that fruit cocktail, I always feel like fruit cocktails don't have enough cherries, so I'm gonna add some stemless maraschino cherries right into our delicious little thing, just like so. And then of course, no dessert is complete without some Cool Whip. I'm using the 16 ounce of our Cool Whip. I just let it thaw in this Vegas heat. Honestly, you could just pop it outside for about 10-15 minutes and it's really well thawed. So thanks Vegas heat. But I'm gonna go in with that entire thing of our Cool Whip, just like so, with our pistachio pudding, our maraschino cherries, our pecans, our coconut shreds, and of course our fruit cocktail. All right, we're gonna go ahead and give this a nice stir. Remember with Cool Whip, you don't wanna over whip it. Woo! You don't wanna over whip it so it loses its fluff. So I'm just ever so gently kind of going in. And remember, that pistachio pudding, we don't need to add milk here. With the fruit cocktail, it actually has a decent amount of our liquid, also with those maraschino cherries and our Cool Whip. So I'm just ever so gently kind of popping this all over and making sure we get that pistachio super well blended and combined. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering. My favorite part about this dessert is definitely the pistachio pudding. If you have not tried like pistachio ice cream or pistachio pudding, this is your sign. It's a great sweet and savory little treat. So we'll go ahead and finish getting this nice and mixed up before we move on to our next step. Oh my goodness. All right, now that we have everything super well combined, we are just gonna make sure we support our bottom, and we are going into the fridge for 30 to 40 minutes. All right, those are our potato skins that we just gutted into our 13 by 9. Now that we have those nice and gutted, I'm gonna bring in our guts of our potatoes for this delicious and easy little side dish. I'm next gonna go in with our stuffing. I'm using the savory herbs stovetop stuffing, and I'm popping that into our mashed potatoes just like so. Next, I'm gonna be coming in with our oven roasted turkey breast. I love using this oven roasted. Look at how thick cut that is, which is perfect for this recipe. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take my kitchen shears and I'm just gonna cut bits of that oven roasted turkey breast right into our mashed potatoes and our savory stuffing. I did the savory stuffing, which by the way is not vegetarian. So if you have a vegetarian in your family, steer clear of that one. But they also have a chicken stuffing. They had a turkey stuffing, but I really enjoy the savory herbs. And as you can see, I'm really just kind of fine dicing that turkey into our mashed potatoes, our stuffing. I'm next gonna be coming in with our potato masher. And what we're gonna do is just start and combine all of our mashed potatoes, our stuffing. And for the stuffing, I just followed the back of the box. So we did our hot water and our butter, and you can feel free to add more butter here. You could also add a heavy whipping cream. We're gonna start with this and just start by mashing it all together. All right, now that we have that delicious stuffing and our potatoes and our turkey, I'm gonna bring back in the shells of our mashed potatoes with this mixture. I'm grabbing a large ice cream scoop, and what we're gonna do, crazy I know, is gonna take a large scoop of that delicious mix and go right into the shells of our potatoes. I'm just doing our russet potatoes, and I just baked our potatoes for about 50 minutes, and making sure I oiled them, and I also stick a fork in them to make sure that they're done. Oh my gosh, my mouth is already watering. The turkey, the stuffing, the potatoes with just some simple butter too, but we are not done yet, folks. And I'm just going in and making sure we evenly distribute our mashed potatoes, our stuffing, and our turkey, because we don't want any of these potatoes to be skimmed. I'm just going in just like so. Oh, you cannot tell me these don't look absolutely delicious. And last one here, and that was a perfect amount right on top. Beautiful. Next thing I'm gonna come in with is the one, the only, the Heinz turkey gravy. And what we're gonna do is just go right on top of all of those yummy potatoes with a decent amount of that gravy, because I am a gravy girl. Ooh, and it actually has turkey chunks in it. And it's okay if you get some in the bottom of the pan too. That'll just get onto the crust of the potato, I guess, or the skin of the potato. So don't be shy with your gravy. I think that looks perfect. You could obviously make your own gravy. And of course, the last thing that we are missing is our whole cranberry sauce. And as everyone knows, you have to open the can upside down because then it fits perfectly on a plate for the holiday season. But I'm just going in with my tiny little scoop here. And I got the ones with the actual whole cranberries. And I'm just gonna pop a decent amount right on top of that turkey, that mashed potato, that stuffing. If you can guess what kind of holiday this might be good for, you'll have to let me know in the comments. But oh my goodness, this is really coming together. Super easy, super quick, and your family and friends will absolutely love this holiday season. Oh, now that we have our cranberry on there, we are ready to go into the oven. We are going like 15 minutes at 350. All right, our hearts of romaine into our 13 by 9. In addition to our hearts of romaine, I'm gonna be coming in with my canned chicken for this absolutely delicious little fall side dish. The next thing I'm gonna come in with is just some apples. I absolutely love apples and chicken in this romaine blend. It is so tasty, and these apples look so good in the grocery store. I knew I just had to add this to our tasty little side dish. You can obviously do like a ladyfinger little apple or a Granny Smith. Next, I'm gonna be coming in with our caramelized pecans. You could also do a walnut here, but I thought these pecans just look super, super delicious. I mean, look at how yummy those look. I definitely want to take one and just eat it. Oh yeah, those are tasty. Alongside our pecans, I'm gonna come in with some par cooked bacon. You could obviously do a turkey bacon here. You could do some pepperoni, some salami, but I love the actual smokiness of this bacon. And I just am chopping it up into rough slices right next to our apples, our chicken, and of course our delicious candied pecans. This is one of my favorite side dishes to make with fall slowly approaching. I love, love, love this side dish. Now that we have our bacon in place, I'm gonna come in with, either you love or you hate this, but some blue cheese crumbles. I love a good blue cheese, especially with the side dish. I also really love it with steak too, or a gorgonzola would work really nicely here as well. But we had the discounted blue cheese, which is always a great sign. Next, I'm gonna be coming in with our craisins, which is a dried cranberry. I just did the original ones. They also started selling ones infused with like cherry juice, which is super fun. But I just thought the original would be a perfect addition to this absolutely amazing and easy little fall side dish. All right, and here comes the fun part. I'm actually gonna be using just our Mrs. Butterworth's original syrup. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but we are trusting the process. I'm gonna add about a 1/4 cup of that syrup on top of our bacon, our blue cheese, our craisins, our candy pecans, our apples, and of course our shredded chicken. I mean, that is already looking super tasty. And then I'm gonna be coming in with just our red wine vinaigrette dressing. I just use the Wishbone. It's actually one of the cheaper brands, which is what I like to use. And similarly, we're just gonna go right on top of all of our yummy side dish ingredients with that red wine vinaigrette. Depending on how much dressing you like, you can kind of play around with the ratios. Oh my goodness, I'm excited. We're just gonna turn our crock pot off and we are going to take a look at this very succulent, juicy, sweet, salty, delicious ham. Remember, we have that cinnamon butter in there. We have all of our pineapple into our spiralized ham. Look at all the juices. The brown sugar got nice and caramelized too. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering. It smells like almost like Christmas morning in here. I'm not even gonna lie, but it's obviously summer. Oh, I mean, let's see if I'm strong enough to get that. Oh yeah. Oh, look at how amazing that looks. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see if we're strong enough to pop this on our plate. Oh yeah, she is a beauty. All right, now that we have that all nice and plated, make sure, take our little fork out. Oh, she is beauty, she is grace. Okay, but the only thing that we're missing, I have just this big kind of like ladle, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of that lovely juice, all that pineapple and all that brown sugar, and I'm just gonna go right on top. Oh my goodness, my mouth is absolutely watering. You could serve this up with some like mango sticky rice or some quinoa, some lentils, potatoes even would be super tasty. I mean, you cannot tell me that doesn't look absolutely delicious. Perfect year round. You gotta give this easy crock-pot ham a try. Wow, I am excited for our tasty Watergate ambrosia style salad. Perfect for the summer, perfect for spring. I know we're kind of going into winter and fall, but it is still super, super hot out. So we just pulled this out of the fridge and oh my goodness, you can see that that pistachio pudding is nice and set. You can see our cherries, our marshmallows, all of that. Oh, and the best part, I'm gonna take a small little bite and no one will even know that I took some right out of the center. Well, you can see the marshmallows and that fruit cocktail. I'm excited. I love pistachio. I love sweet and kind of savory, so this is gonna be super tasty. Ooh, the pistachio and marshmallow combination, hard to beat. You definitely have to give this a try. Cheers. I cannot even begin to describe how delicious these smell. I put them in the oven for about 10-15 minutes just to make sure that gravy's nice and warmed up, our cranberry, and we really get that turkey nice and warmed up, but we are not done yet, folks. I'm gonna be coming in with just some chives. I love adding a little bit of greenery, and these are actually on sale. You could also do a parsley or a green onion. Honestly, anything green would have worked here. Maybe not cilantro, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take those chives and I'm gonna come in with my kitchen shears. And we're gonna go right on top of our delicious little twice baked potato holiday edition with those yummy chives. I love making twice baked potatoes, so this is a fun one to do for the holidays. Stuffing, gravy, turkey, cranberry. I think even if you had leftovers from holidays, you could make something like this too, wink wink. But I'm just going in with those chives. I mean, you cannot tell me those don't look absolutely incredible. All right, last thing, we're just gonna go ahead. I think I want like this one. Oh my goodness, look at how beautiful she is. And I think I'm gonna take two because this is basically my lunch. Oh, I am so excited. I mean, you cannot tell me those don't look absolutely incredible. All right, moment of truth. I always like to cut into my twice baked potatoes so we can see how stacked they are too. And they're still kind of hot. You can see the steam coming off of them. Oh, and that potato's cooked perfectly. Oh, moment of truth. I mean, that just looks absolutely delicious if you ask me. Oh, the perfect twice baked potato for this holiday season. Enjoy. And then we're gonna come in and just give this a nice big mix. So I wanna make sure that we get all of our syrup and our red wine vinaigrette mixed in with our chicken, our apples, our pecans, of course that smoky bacon, and of course that blue cheese. Shout out Dad. I was never a big blue cheese fan until my dad started adding it onto steak, and oh my gosh, what a game changer. And then with these craisins, it adds a great texture and is a great little sweetness to it as well. And like I said, this is a super easy side dish. If you're getting invited to any kind of holiday party coming up or a potluck, or even, you know, taking this to church, whatever your heart desires, this is super easy to put together, super customizable, and always delicious. So we'll go ahead and get this nice and mixed up before we move on to our next step. All right, now that we have everything super well combined, this part's optional, but I like to add a little bit of my little croutons. You can obviously make your own croutons. You can also add just some toasted breadcrumbs if you wanted. And I always like to leave these off until last, especially if you're traveling with a dish like this, because it might make those croutons a little soggy. But we are ready to give this a try. Oh, look at all that chicken, the cranberries. I can smell how sweet that is. I want to try and get an apple as well. I mean, you cannot tell me that doesn't look absolutely delicious and just screams fall. Am I right? All right, moment of truth. Great little side dish, great like meal prep, or great just even like as a lunch. But you gotta give this easy fall side dish a try. Cheers.